Bruised and bloodied, he'd seized the box that held his traitor's hoard. The devil fish had slain Club Inn, but now been put to sword. With waters rising high inside, through sunken arch he dived, ascending through the dusky deeps to grasp the air, alive! The limpets quenched his appetite, before his rest he took. One final night, then anchor raised, he praised his holy book. No myth, as humble man of fish, had heard Lethierry's plea, yet now from rosy-fingered dawn he sailed the wine-dark sea. The funnels gleamed with silver specks, the salts by light of moon. He knew the engine safe would be, and in St. Sampson soon.
The last few lights in harbour winked, like eyes about to close. None marked the passing silhouette from which the funnels rose. Beneath Lethierry's window hung a lonely rusted ring. None marked by moon there moored again, a thing to make him sing. The engines moored, the Frenchman ran to reach his lover's bower. For now ashore he felt his heart once more within her power. He watched the windows from the wall and pictured her inside, her eyelids closed, her slumber soft, her face on hand reclined, her handkerchief, her petticoat, he dared not dream so far. Her promised love alone did set his soul among the stars.
Then past the branch, upon the grass, a vision lit his sight, a face divine, in rippling dress, an angel, all in white. She walked towards a bench below, his heart did scarcely beat. Unseen he watched those folds afloat, until she took her seat. The moonlight moistened in her eye, and formed a single tear. Just then a sound awoke them both. Footsteps were drawing near.
He stretched his neck to spy the source, but only heard his words, each one a dagger in his soul, as he saw how she was stirred. Madam, I see you every Sunday morn, though we have never spoken, but if I sail without your love, at noon my heart is broken. The angel clasped her hands in prayer and trembled as she asked, but why must you set sail so soon when love does hold you fast? Madam, the sinking of Durand has left your family poor. My uncle's death across the sea now brings us wealth in store. As rector of your church I came, but leave with heart entwined. Refuse, and I return no more. Say now, will you be mine?
The night stood still, he asked again, for me, please make your choice. The sea did murmur as she spoke, the Lord has heard my voice. My betrothed, let stars be witness to this our first embrace. So stepping forth from shadows then, the priest revealed his face. The Frenchman gazed with horror on the rival he had saved, the stranger with a Bible who had won the heart he craved. The pair suspended in their heaven, from him his hidden hell, until a noise did rouse them all, the clanging harbour bell.
The Frenchman, first upon the scene, there found Lethierry stood, still tugging wildly at the bell, with all the force he could.
He turned, then stopped, as rope he dropped, his saviour to embrace, then pulled him past the sloop indoors, where shadows cloaked his face.
My son, this feat the Bastille beats. It's like a fairy tale, to bring my engines home to me through wind and waves and hail.
That tempest from 3 days ago, oh, what a storm there broods, but nothing even budged an inch, there's not a missing screw.
You are my child, you are my son, who went where others failed. Lethierry spoke, but saw not how his saviour's face ran pale.
Were it not for that thief Clubin and how he did me cheat, We'd build Durand anew at once and long about 20 feet.
No doubt, aboard a smuggling ship, he robbed my safe, you know. The Frenchman here produced the notes and laid them in a row.
My notes, so he did not escape. Well, may he rest in peace. I see that I have found at last the man to wed my niece.
His back to wall the Frenchman sank, and whispered one word low. Lethierry rubbed his eyes and ears. The word he heard was no.
Was it for me you braved the sea? My son, you must be mad. She said she'll marry the man, and so she shall. Be glad.
The bell meantime had roused a crowd, who gathered at the door. The neighbours, sailors, townsfolk and all, towards his house did pour.
Come in, behold the man who brought my engines from the rocks. This marvel took the wreck to pieces, as you might take your clock.
So on and on the old man spoke, with laughter and with tears, until he noticed priest and niece had entered at the rear.
My niece, come greet my captain new, for both Durand and you. Ah, rector, will you marry them? Here stands a husband true.
The uncle found the Frenchman's face still shielded by the dark, and with a thrust of candlelight revealed a figure stark.
Still dressed in rags, his face was white, beard long, hair rough and wild. His peeling skin and bloodshot eyes, a sight to fright a child.
Still fresh from battle with the rocks, his blisters, scars and wounds, the niece first gasped to see these things, then, with a sigh, she swooned.
Next day, the house astir again, with those who came to gaze. Deserting town, crowds flocked to dock, the miracle to praise. The rector's riches and his trip to England were forgot. His ship departing Havelotte, no longer worth a jot. But Déruchette had slipped away to see her love once more, and there the pair stood hand in hand, together close to shore. Your readings from the Bible were for me like floods of light. When others took the holy book, its words shone not so bright.
You came when you should not have done. I thought I loved the Lord, but now I know this love for you, which wounds me like a sword. The priest released her hand and spoke. The Lord our hearts did fill, but just one course is left to me. You heard your uncle's will. He turned towards the rowing boat. No longer could he tarry, when sudden came a voice behind, and what, should you not marry? They hardly knew the Frenchman from the former ragged brute, his hair arranged, his beard clean shaved. He wore a sailor's suit.
I know you now, the rector said. You saved my soul at sea. I know you not, the Frenchman said. Now think no more on me. Why say goodbye? She is of age. Be man and wife today. Amazed at first, the niece now burst. What will my uncle say? He would refuse, if now he knew, so you must leave the isle. When you return, he will forgive, which will be but a while. The sinking man will seize a hand, the drowning clutch a branch. The lovers put aside their qualms to grasp this final chance.